What up guys, it is Justice here. Welcome to another video from me. This is a Vorago tips and tricks video, episode number 4 I think it is. We've had Lunar Heal Other, we've had Green Bomb 5-man, we've had Vorago Hard Mode, and now we're on to Vorago tips and tricks for BombTank Voking, and a few things about the drop mechanic changes to Vorago. So as you saw there, the Seismic Singularity drop guys, Chaotic Binky received that. His first ever seismic drop, so congratulations Binky for that. So yeah, that drop leads me on quite nicely onto just a couple of tips and tricks quickly around basically how the drop mechanics have changed. Now obviously bomb tanks have a significantly higher chance now of receiving a drop at Vorago. As you will be fully aware, when I'm going Vorago now, the bomb tank's getting 2 to 3 drops per kill, especially if there's a couple of Ascension DPSs in your team. So if you want to go out and get some drops, or if you haven't ever had a seismic drop, and I don't know whether this increases the chances, I'm not sure, it probably doesn't, but it just feels like it does for me, to be honest. The past few kills, the past couple of drops I've had is from people who've never had one before. So as you saw there, Chaotic Binky, that was a split for 52 mil, which I received from him. And basically we were in a team of 6 I think at the time, so obviously the orb has dropped significantly as well as the wand at the moment. I think it's crashing. One's around 1.5 to 6 bill and the orb's around 370 mil at the moment, so very low prices from what they usually are. But there's basically a couple of tips. Definitely bomb tanking is in its prime. Vorago is giving those guys a chance to receive a drop, which I definitely think is fair to receive one, but I think at the moment it's too overpowered. What do you think to the new drop mechanic changes? Let me know what you think in the comment section, please. Okay, so on to the rest of this video. This video is going to convey methods that help make your kills more efficient, allowing for increased damage per second, where it will allow the bomb tank to play a more active role within the team in terms of Voking. Also with this, maybe increase their chances of getting drops even more. It also includes video footage from all role perspectives within the Voking order, from the base tank who takes all incoming melee damage from Vorago throughout the majority of the kill, to the bomb tank who tanks the blue and red magic bombs throughout the kill, and a DPS whose main priority is to deal as much damage as possible whilst being dual wielded. This next part of the video will involve tips relating to ability bars and simple methods. Moving on to more complex method, which is the trick that applies to all levels of experience. Watch the method carefully and answer this question: what Voking method does your team like to use? Okay, so to Voke efficiently, you need to have 4 abilities on hand, and at least one of these abilities, in my opinion, with a custom keybind. The 4 abilities are the Voking ability. This redirects the attention of the boss onto yourself, where you tank his attack. The Freedom ability, when activated, any snares or stuns on the player are negated. This cancels Vorago's bleed effect. The Escape ability is a ranged basic ability that when used makes your character go back up to 7 squares, cancelling Vorago's bleed effects. My custom interface on screen shows my setup with Voke on my defense ability bar, where I click manually, followed by the Freedom ability, which I have custom binded to the number 2, so it's quick to access on the very first bleed. And then obviously I have Escape as well over here on the top right hand corner of my screen, where I have range and mage, so I can quickly flick between either Escape or Surge depending on the situation. So if you're in a situation where if you use Escape you'll go against the wall and the bleed will carry on, then instead of using Escape you want to be using Surge, which means you'll go through Vorago and then just run a little bit further away so the bleed stops hitting you. With that as well, especially if you're the base tank, you can obviously heal off the blue magic ball, which I'll show you later. Yeah, basically with that, the bleed will only disappear if you use Freedom, or if you can escape or surge further enough away from Vorago that it actually just cancels it out. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some footage of me base tanking. Now the first clip is me base tanking here. I'm going to take 1 and 2 Voke. So this is the first Voke, and on the first one I'll use Freedom straight away and won't even get hit. On the second one I will use Escape, and obviously I'm in that situation where I've got plenty of room behind me, so when I use Escape I will go further enough away for that bleed to cancel, and as you see I can use Resonance to heal off that blue magic ball. Now I will show you a view of me bomb tanking. So this is the complex method which many elite teams use now. If you're a experienced enough bomb tank, it's definitely worthwhile giving this a go and practicing it. So as you can see, as soon as the Voking order starts, you'll see me run towards Vorago. Now you want to make sure you are within melee distance of Vorago. The tip here is if you actually attack Vorago when you get close to him, before the Vokes obviously come onto you, then you will step back just at the right space so you're within melee distance and Vorago won't move. This is now footage of me as a DPS taking the very 5th and last Voke. So again, go within melee distance of Vorago. After the 4th stomp, you want to hit that Voking button as the 5th Voker. As the 3rd Voker, sorry, and you will take the 5th stomp there and use freedom straight away and then basically just run out of melee distance, otherwise you will be hit with the melee hit. So yeah, a few extra tips there. Whilst you're in this Voke order, if you are in the Voking order, then when going in within melee distance of Vorago, you want to make sure you have the melee prayer on, just in case you do get hit a couple of bleeds there. The first bleed will hit you around 962, rather than a much lower, I think it's around 300. So definitely flick on the melee prayer, as you'll see here on the bomb tanking method. You'll see me flick over to the prayer and hit on the melee prayer protect. So that's a little tip for you guys just to help out. Also, if you want to, you can go that little bit extra, especially if you're the DPSer, and hit devotion on. If you're the very last Voker, if you hit devotion on with melee, then when you're running away from Vorago, when he goes back into his normal attacks, he will not hit you with a large melee hit. Now, I've saw it many times, people making a few little mistakes, keeping their life points a bit too low, and then getting KO'd by Vorago with a simple melee hit, so be careful with that. So melee protects prayer on at all times, and you'll be absolutely laughing. Many elite teams do use this method now, however in larger teams it's not as relevant due to damage per second not being an issue. However, with 5-man teams, especially on phase 4, which is the waterfall phase, this method allows your team to lower Vorago's life points to the appropriate level between 12.7 and 25k life points before the 3rd waterfall appears. Why this amount of life points? Because once the 3rd waterfall disappears, you can then deal enough damage to Vorago before the damage dealt by your team is reduced. Your team will prevent 2 minions from spawning. So that basically just speeds up the kill, and you know, it just helps definitely determine that you have Vorago at the right life points. So it's definitely worthwhile using this method. Also allows your team to obviously compete against with damage per second in each phase if you like doing that. However, due to the new recent drop mechanics, obviously not as much incentive to do that anymore. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video discussing the recent drop mechanic changes and obviously a bit of a tip and trick there for the Voking, where the bomb tank is getting more involved now into the Voking order. So again, I'll see you in my next video, definitely coming out in the next couple of days. I'll be uploading a video which is very special to me very soon, which definitely gives a lot of insight into what's been going on sort of in my life and also basically about this channel. So that means a lot to me, so I'll be launching that out hopefully in the next couple of days. Have a great weekend, a great PVMing weekend as I always say. Take care and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.